Hi all, welcome to another tutorial. This tutorial I'm going to be looking at solving forces and unknown forces and unknown angles. I've chosen a question from a previous exam, and over the next 3 videos I'm going to show you the 3 different methods to solve these types of problems. So starting with, the aircraft shown is descending at a steady glide at an angle of theta degrees. I'm not sure if you can read it properly, I'll check it later. To the horizontal. The engine is cut out and equilibrium is maintained. That is an important word, equilibrium, because that now tells us that the 3 forces acting on the aeroplane are in balance and can be represented as a triangle. In fact, the first question is, for the 3 forces to be in equilibrium, what the condition must be met? Well, when we take those forces and form them into a vector and join them head to tail, they will form a triangle. All the upward forces will equal all the downward forces, and all the leftward forces will equal all the rightward forces. So that's what they're looking for. So really, as I've shown you in class, upwards must equal downwards, leftwards must equal rightwards, and for the condition of equilibrium. Now we're going to move on to the next session, and we're going to look at, assuming the above conditions are met, W equals 120, so that's 120 kilonewtons, and theta equals 20 degrees. So there's our 20 degrees in there. So now we want to solve it. Before I solve it, I actually like to get rid of all the unnecessary information and just draw the forces. So coming down, we have 120 kilonewtons. Going in that direction, we don't know what it is, we'll call that D, but we know that that's 20 degrees. And in that direction, we have L, and we know that that's 90 degrees. Well, because that's 20 degrees, that angle there must be 70 degrees, therefore that angle there must be 20 degrees, and that must be 70 degrees. So all I've done is filled in a lot of information. The first method I'm going to show you to solve this is quite simply graphically. We're just going to draw the vectors to scale, and we'll be able to measure the missing information. So I'm going to use a scale of 1 kilonewton equals 1 centimeter. So I'll begin just with the known, which is, actually it's 120 kilonewtons, sorry. With the 120 kilonewtons, so it's going to be 10 kilonewtons equals 1 centimeter. So 120 will start straight down with 12 centimeters. So there's our 120 kilonewtons. That's our first one. We just take our forces in order. So we'll go that one, number 2, and we draw them head to tail. So there's our first one. Our second one, if we bring our protractor here, set that on 90, is at 20 degrees, but we don't know how long it is. So all I'm going to do is draw a light line. There we are. And, you know, it could theoretically be going in that direction as well. Okay. Now the third one, L, we don't know where it starts on here, but we do know where it finishes, and it finishes at this point here. Okay, so we can work out our angles to see what angle is there, and then we can track it down, and wherever it joins the D, we know that that's our triangle formed, and we can simply just measure it. So we're looking for this angle here. Well, I'm looking at that, and opposite angles would deem that that's 20 degrees. So if we set this here on our 90 at the end, 90 minus 20 is 70. There's our angle there, and there's our line for D, for L rather. Now we can put in the missing information. We know the arrows are head to tail. We know that that angle there is 20 degrees. That angle there, because that one's 20, that one will be 70. That's a right angle, and we can simply measure them now. That's given me 11.4. So that would be 114 kilonewtons. and that's looking at 41.5, so that would be 41.5 kilonewtons. So D equals 41.5 and L equals the lift. The one thing to remember when doing it graphically is we must draw it large. That will give us our level of accuracy. If we try and make it too small, we won't get the level of accuracy we require. That ends that. The next session will show you how to do it using trigonometry.